Hey, shalom, 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 Yahweh B'Hashem B'Shafar. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopefully elect, 144,000 chosen, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Adah. I just want to point something out here. This guy, I'm subscribed to this guy's page just recently. He was back when I first woke up. I think back in 2020, he was doing the same thing he's doing now, man. He's one of two things, and I'm talking about the guy with the baseball cap on. Specifically, this is his channel, MAGA Jim Brewer. Or wait, no, hold on, Salakia, hold on. The Disturbing Illusion, my bad. You guys check out some of his work, man. He's got a couple of channels. He talks a lot about the police. He goes in and points out the hypocrisies of the police. He does a pretty good job. I mean, he does a really good job at pointing out the hypocrisies in Renaissance Western Christianity. And I think he is he's a Christian himself. But he's like for a lack of better words, he's a purist, meaning he really follows. He's like a diehard. You know what I mean? He goes by the book the best that he can, even though that's a false doctrine. All I'm saying is when it comes to, because the way he breaks down his ability to break down the inconsistencies and the hypocrisies of his own group of people, predominantly the police and the Christians, he does it from a knowledgeable perspective of the scriptures. So he's got some kind of a background in that doctrine because he knows a lot. Now, again, I'm not tooting his horn. I'm not bigging him up, but I've been noticing he's been coming up a lot lately. I'm just pulling into my driveway right now, so it's a lock it for the noises and stuff. But he's one of two things. Like I always say, whenever you see a gentleman that looks like this, and based on their level of passion and how they fight against the so-called the power structure, which is the so-called white man, which is the biblical Edomites, they follow under one of two prophecies or precepts. One is they are either an Edomite who is being governed by the prophecy, their own tongues shall fall upon themselves. And you got to remember, the oracles of prophecy are what? They are programs. They are spiritual programs from Yahweh, who reigns in the kingdom of men, that govern the minds of the spirits of people that they are ordered over. So when you look at Psalm 64 verse 8, let's go back one. But the Most High, or God, or the power, shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. What's the arrow? It's a multitude of things, and this is one of them. Verse 8, so they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And what is this? This goes into a multiple level. It's either the revelation of the method, which Esau does on the left-hand side, when he communicates a left-handed prophecy in coded speech, in a movie, in a video, in a commercial, on a magazine cover, in a board game, multiple ways, on T-shirts, on Hollywood, in the news. And then the prophets, who is as the wise man, who knows the interpretation of a thing, the actual prophets who are elect spirits, hopefully elect spirits, who are Hebrew Israelite men, they are able to interpret the truth about what's going on the left-hand side, because everything has been declared on the right-hand side as well. So these guys are either operating under the authority, or they're being governed by the spirit that's in this prophecy. Salakia, let me turn off my notification. Or they are the speckled bird, because the Hebrew Israelite men were scattered to the four corners of the earth. My heritage is as a speckled bird. Because you had black and brown, so-called black and brown men scattered to the four corners of the earth, those black and brown men, so-called black and brown men, slept with the heathen nations and the wicked nation, women of the earth, and over time our sons and daughters came out looking like those nations. but they would still be, in fact, the seed line, the seed that's blessed from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So right here, mine heritage is unto me. This is Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round me are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. And the speckled bird has multiple colors in it. Let's just pull that. Images. That's what he's talking about. See how so this is a perfect example right here. You can either use this one from dark all the way to light. Can you see the range of colors? Dark melanin, then you see the browns and the tans, and then you even see the white speckles. That's what the Israelites look like now. All right, but the original men were the dark colored shades of the feathers, but because we were scattered to the four corners of the earth, it was actually a very beautiful depiction. Or you can do this. You can choose but we didn't start off light. We started off dark and became light. But you can still see it. You can see this like a lot with Ephraim, with the Colombians. They're a lot, they're very light-skinned. Lots of them are. A lot of the Latinos are light-skinned, but they're also very dark-skinned. You see that? So you see a range. So this is the Most High using his own creation and the mysteries and the poetry of his own creation to describe mysteries and prophecy. So when you see TV and what they say on TV that the Jews look like, what do they tell you? It's only white people, right? So that's a lie. That's a fucking lie. The 12 tribes of the Hebrew, they range in colors, but predominantly they were melanated people, okay? Also, Ephraim is a cake half turned. Ephraim is a cake half turned. So these are prophecies that govern the truth on the earth, and you have to understand prophecy. You have to understand the mysteries of the scriptures to understand what's going on in the earth, because Esau has a system of lies. Hosea 7:8. Ephraim is the title, or is the tribe that is used to describe the entire northern kingdom, the 10 tribes of the northern kingdom. That is a lot of people. He hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Let's see if we can get a visual of that. I've never tried to pull this up. But a cake not turned is what? It's a pancake that's been put on a pan. And the half of the pancake, if you just let it burn, it gets really dark on one side and the other side is white. A cake not turned. Let's see if we can find a picture of that. Let's see. Boom! There you go, you guys. You see it? What do you see? You see dark and white, black and white, brown and white. This is what you have to understand, man. You've got to understand this. So I'm using these visuals, I'm using precepts to prove our point. The scripture says, prove all things. We don't just talk here as Hebrew Israelites. It's the problem with Renaissance Western Christianity. They want to debunk us because they don't want to let go of white supremacy. Prove all things. We don't just talk out of our ass, you guys. All right? So Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things, hold fast that which is good, abstain from all appearance of evil. Okay? Right there. Boom. Let me see. Prove all things. So we got to do this. All right? So let's go back to the video. Check this out. I'm going to let it play. Listen to what this guy's saying, man. Look at, you got two, what appear to be Edomites who are realizing, and you got to look at the powerful this is. The Bible says, let everything be established in the mouth of two witnesses. You got two so-called white men, and one is agreeing and then trying to challenge his audience to go further with the other so-called white male that is complaining about what he sees white males in power doing. They're not complaining about any other race of people because deep down in their hearts they know that their specific race is in power on the earth. Let me see if I can find another. They shall complain of an ungodly father. Talking about them. They shall complain. They shall complain of an unrighteous father, ungodly father, ungodly father. Let me see if that pulls it up. It's in Job, I believe. Oh, it's Ecclesiasticus. I was way off. Look at this. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for their sake. This is what is happening with the so-called white guilt. I don't want to experience white guilt. Or people talking, you see it all over TikTok. Let's pull up TikTok real quick and see if I can find.
Just go get.
Let me see if I can just white guilt. White guilt. Let me see. And systematic racism. Look, let's just.
So yesterday I posted a video giving a very basic definition in my own words of what white privilege is. And I kept it very brief and vague on purpose because I had a feeling people would start arguing in the comments, which they did. But I also thought it was super interesting how many people were commenting that I have white guilt, that I want to be black, and that I'm dying for the attention of the black community. First of all, yes, I have white guilt. You should too. Anyone who grows up with the knowledge that they have systematic advantages over other people just because of historical events and historical discrimination should feel a little guilty about that. Whether or not they contributed to that is a whole other thing, but you're reaping the benefits of it. People act like white guilt is something to be ashamed of, but if you use it in the right way and you use it to further reduce injustice, it's a good thing. And when people talk about systematic injustice and
Okay, so just look how many precepts in the Bible that Renaissance Western Christianity never pointed out, yet they're in the same Bible. It's all in the same Bible, you guys. This is the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha was removed from the original King James Version in the 1800s. This is the Bible. How many prophecies in the scriptures are we to pull out that show you all these connecting points with what's going on in the earth concerning the so-called white man and the true Hebrew Israelites before people realize, how come Christianity could never do this? How come Renaissance Christianity could never do this? Ecclesiasticus 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for their sake. What's the word reproach mean? Let's look at the word reproach mean. I'm laying foundation. Reproached. Let me see. Just reproach. A rebuke, blame. Look at that. A rebuke, blame, censure, directed against a person. Why? Because of what their ancestors did. And remember, reincarnation, you have to understand reincarnation so that when they are talking about their ancestors, yes, their ancestors are real, but they are also their ancestors because they come back onto the earth. You got to know how to split the two. Yes, I have a great-grandfather, right? But I also was back there at one time, too. I was one of my own great-grandfathers, if you can understand that. Because we keep coming back onto the earth. Reproach, a rebuke, blame, directed against a person. Object of scorn or contempt. Why? Because of all the shit they've done. And so you have a group of Edomites that are fighting it. I'm not going to feel guilty for shit, that's typical. But then you have another group that are like, wait a minute, this is fucked up. And so when you understand prophecy, when you understand what the Bible is saying, you're able to address it according to what Scripture says, and you're able to deal with it according to what Scripture says the punishments will eventually become. There's no such thing as education or we got to teach everybody so we can get along. No. Once the Edomites' rulership has accomplished what it's accomplished, they then have to drink the cup, which is their judgment. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see these guys. I'm going to let the whole video play. It's about 10 minutes. You're going to see these guys. You're going to see him commenting on what this comedian, this actor in Hollywood, who saw firsthand witness of the hypocrisy and the wickedness of his rulership is doing. And you're going to see how they have no scriptural understanding of how to go about the solution to this. And that's where the Hebrew Israelites come in. Because even though I said this guy has a good Christian understanding, the guy with the baseball cap on, again, Renaissance Western Christianity isn't the truth. It's a version of what's in the scriptures that hides who Esau is. It doesn't tell you the whole truth. It tells you bits and pieces, and it covers Esau, Edom, by calling them white and saying everybody can be a Christian and God loves everybody and then there's no punishment for America or judgment for America or the so-called white man because white Jesus has forgiven everybody's sins. That's all bullshit. That's not what the scriptures say, but that's what Christianity says the scriptures say. I'm going to let this video play and then we'll be done.
If I said politics is nothing but professional wrestling. I saw it when I was in Saturday Night Live. I would see.
Did you hear what he said? Politics is nothing but professional wrestling. What do you have? You have a bad side and a good side of wrestling. Just like with the products, you have Pepsi and Coke. You have 7-Up and Sprite. You have Orange Crush, and there's another orange drink. And they're basically owned by the same group of people. You see how this works? The Democrats and the Republicans act like they don't get along on television. Watch what he says.
Politicians together. I would see celebrities together in a room, and I'd see the two politicians that were screaming at each other the night before and saying how much each side is so crazy, and I would see them drinking together, laughing together. I'm not gonna lie to you, I supported him, and I'll go as far as say I voted. I haven't voted in my life. He got me.
All right, I saw this video on TYT Sports. It was recommended to me through the YouTube thing on the right. And the name of this video on TYT Sports was MAGA Comedian Turns Against Trump Has a Shocking Moment of Clarity. This is Jim Brewer. And of course, the Young Turks put a...
So in the background, I'm going to be pulling up precepts while this guy's talking. I want you to read them simultaneously as I'm talking, or as this guy's talking. But this fits this. I'm gonna pull up as many precepts as I can come, as the Spirit will give me, that applies to this situation. Okay?
Progressive Democrat slant to it. And of course, the progressive Democrats want you to be ruled and robbed, just like the Team MAGA and the Republicans want you to be ruled and robbed. But I want you to hear which is completely wrong, because it's immoral. You wouldn't rob or try to rule and control somebody else, so why would you ask somebody else to do it on your behalf? But I thought it was really important to go over this, because this moment of clarity that Jim Brewer has is expressed pretty well by Jim Brewer, and I've got a couple things to add to it, because it seems like before he voted for Donald Trump, Jim Brewer and a lot of other people knew exactly what politics was, that it's the left versus right dog and pony show. It's the circus under the big top. It's WWE wrestling, where the two wrestlers, present themselves as the protagonist and the antagonist, and everybody in the crowd gets all worked up because they get invested in this rivalry that's really no rivalry at all. It's just performance, which is exactly what politics is. But I want you to hear what Jim Brewer says about this, and then he went ahead and voted anyway. Check this out.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I supported him, and I'll go as far as say I voted. I haven't voted in my life. He got me. My whole life I said politics is nothing but professional wrestling.
So from here on out in the video, we just got about 10 more minutes. Listen to this comedian. He says some deep shit. Now, the other dude with the hat on is going to comment. So I want you guys to understand this in the Spirit. You got two so-called white males here. I've already laid out the foundations of either them being speckled birds or just Edomites whose tongues are falling upon themselves. But that gives glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakagadosh, and it gives double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, and all the other affiliate camps who teach the same doctrine, because this is the source of truth, and we are the only ones who are pointing out this. Every situation on earth can be explained by the scriptures, and Renaissance Western Christianity can't and doesn't do it. Truthers like this guy can't and don't do it. Only we do it. And so you got two so-called white men, right, that are either speckled bird Israelites, or their tongues are falling upon themselves. But what are they doing? They are speaking against the wicked hypocrisy of the so-called Edomite, or the so-called white rulership on earth, which prophecy calls Esau Edom. It's going to get deep, watch.
I saw it when I was on Saturday Night Live. I would see politicians together. I would see celebrities together in a room. And I'd see the two politicians that were screaming at each other the night before and saying how much each side is so crazy. And I would see them drinking together, laughing together at charity events. And it was the first time where I started going, oh my God, how does the public... Like, that would... You got me hating over there, but you two are laughing in the corner, almost the way lawyers do,
So you see division, right? There's an intentional, intelligent vibration of division purposely being released onto the people by the Republicans and the Democrats. He's admitting it. This guy used to be an actor. He was in a movie called Half Baked that had Dave Chappelle in it before Dave Chappelle got huge. The white dude that's speaking in the center of the screen co-stars with Dave Chappelle in a movie called Half Baked. Now look, what does it say? What does the Most High say in his prophecies? Isaiah 19:2. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. This is talking about America. This is talking about what he's explaining. This is talking about the Edomites. Okay? This is talking about them, you guys. This entire chapter, the spirit of this chapter is a program that is governing America right now. Line by line. If you read the whole chapter, it is exactly what is happening in America right now. Go back to the video.
You know, that's another thing that was created. I sit there, you know what I learned?
So Jim Brewer is talking about personal experiences from being an insider and this famous person at Saturday Night Live, actually seeing behind the curtain them shaking hands and drinking a beer and sharing a meal and sharing a laugh. He saw this firsthand. It's not that somebody told him what politics was like. It's not that he read what politics was all about. He actually saw it firsthand. He saw the Republicans and Democrats acting on this side of the curtain like they're against each other. They're at odds. They have different policies and they want to take the country in a different direction. But then he saw on the back side of the curtain that it was all just a lie. It was all fiction. It was performance art. It was an act. He, of all people, Jim Brewer, knows that politics is the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people, everybody in the audience, into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own oppression. And yet, Jim Brewer voted for Donald Trump. Somebody who's just like Obama was obvious, just like Biden was obviously corrupt. Donald Trump was obviously corrupt. Obviously, he has no moral bearing. He has no moral compass, just like all the politicians. You couldn't even get more obvious than Trump, Biden, and Clinton and Obama. And yet...
And Obama, for those of you who don't know, Obama is a Hamite. His father is a Kenyan from Kenya. Obama is not the same type of seed line or nation as the so-called black man or black women in America. So-called black women and black men in America are Shemites. We come from Shem. Obama comes from Ham. So this misunderstanding that Obama was the quote-unquote first black president, not black according to the name that they put on the people in America. We're a completely different seed line. That would basically, Obama is the equivalent of somebody from China, right? Representing somebody from North or South Korea, just because they have slanted eyes. They're two completely different people. So you guys have to understand that there is no relation, bloodline, sperm line wise, concerning Obama and the so-called black people who are in America. And the so-called white people, the Edomites who put him in power, they also understand this. He was just like Kamala Harris. She's not one of us. Her dad is an Amalekite, and you are what your father is. It doesn't matter who your mother is. That can be found in Numbers. Kamala is not a black woman like everybody thinks she is. She's an Amalekite. She's a so-called fake. She's a small hat. She's one of the small hats, you guys. She just has a tan.
He voted for him anyway, but he's not done yet. Listen to this.
By going to certain areas in Africa before they're demonized and colonized or freed. They need freedom. Weapons for them too. And don't forget, he did say, next we're going to Africa. Nobody mentioned...
Talking about Netanyahu, the war criminal, who basically he's one of the controllers of the United States. AIPAC owns Congress. Just look at the interview with Thomas Massey. He just came clean with it. Yeah, they have AIPAC handlers. Foreign interests control our government. Have for a long time, at least since 19...
And AIPAC is made up of a bunch of Amalekites, and Amalekites are the head tribe of Edom. Remember, everything is rank and file. Everything is about rank and file in the spirit realm, okay? And so the head tribe of Edom, which is the race of people who are in rulership, out of all of those so-called white people, the top-ranking white people, the top-ranking Edomites, are the tribe of Amalek. And Amalek are the group of people who claim to be God's chosen people on earth right now. Those are the Amalekites, you guys, what we call the small hats. Just so you know, you have to understand. There's a prophecy in Numbers. Amalek was the first of the nations, but his end shall be that he is destroyed. You got to understand prophecy. So if prophecy is telling you in a book where Israel is God's chosen people, but Amalek is the first of the nations, and Israel is the head of all people, what does that mean? There's coming a day when the Most High would judge the 12 tribes of Israel and put them on the bottom, and there's a specific tribe out of Edom that he would set over the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and out of all the people that are wicked, out of all the Edomites, the top highest ranking group of Edomites would be the tribe of Amalek. That's what you have to understand. And that's what AIPAC is. That's what Israel is right now. Israel is Amalekites. It's not the true Hebrews. Those are not the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are not Hebrew Israelites. Those are imposters, according to what prophecy says is the controversy of Zion. You guys have to understand this.
13 with the advent of the Federal Reserve, which, by the way, in 1913, the IRS also came online, and the income tax. So you've got Donald Trump, who's just basically working for the Zio International Banking Cartel, just like all of the Republicans, just like all of the Democrats, just like all of the presidents. They all...
What you just heard him say. So those are all Edomites. Those are all Edomites. And whatever tribe they are from Edom, answering to their brother, who is the highest or the eldest brother, Amalek. That's what's really happening when you hear, oh my God, America is owned by Israel. Well, what that really means is it's just the older brother, the head tribe of the Edomites, is dominating his younger brother, the other members of the tribes of Edom. That's all that is. But because people don't understand Scripture, and because people don't understand the Bible the way it's written, they think Israel is really God's chosen people, and that they're just being bad Jews, and that they're making the white people in America pay them. No, dude. These are family members interacting with each other. And the higher up you go in ranking, they all understand this. That's why it's happening at the level that it's happening. Ain't nobody that's a separate race from the so-called white man in America that's going to make them bend over like that. They're doing it because they understand that they're related. It's just an act. The Amalekites know they're the Amalekites. They're just not going to tell the world that that's what they are.
Work for foreign interests. They all work for the big money makers and the money changers. And Jim Brewer knows this, and he voted for him anyway. My question is, what's going to happen, Jim, when somebody more slick comes along, who has better lines, who can sell you on freedom and liberty and the Constitution better than anyone around? If you fell for Trump, if other people fell for Obama and Biden, they're going to fall for anybody. They just have to be slick. They just have to be a smooth talker and articulate and freedom-minded. Then we're going to get them into office, and then they get to do the same thing that everybody gets to do. When they become the president of the United States, their fangs begin to grow, their claws come out, and then they reveal who they truly were.
Hey man, we're really sorry for all the innocent victims. I didn't hear that. You know what, we this was terrible. This was not fun. a lot of hospitals. You saw the videos because it's the age of videos. And people have seen it, which is why the whole world wants to arrest that man for crimes against humanity. But no one's going to do it because they're all in on it. They're all in on it.
No one's going to do it because they're all in on it. And Jim is right. And knowing this, knowing they're all in on it, seeing it firsthand behind the curtain at Saturday Night Live, them shaking hands, laughing, eating, mocking the public. Ha ha, we got one over on them. He participates in the corrupt system that he knows is corrupt anyway?
They're all in on it. And the sick part is, people have already mark my word, there's money already invested on who's going to own what part of the Gaza Strip. Peace plan. Nobody apologized for death. Nobody. I didn't hear one person. I didn't hear one person go, my heart goes out to the innocent victims. Not one. I'm so proud of the soldiers. I'm so proud. I don't know what any of it means. Can you play? No more Trump after this. I'm not bashing Trump. I'm just...
Why do people say that? I'm not bashing Trump. They don't say, I'm not bashing Obama. I'm talking about...
Okay, I'm going to stop it there for the second time. I'm starting to wonder, I'm starting to think if this guy with the baseball hat, if he's actually a speckled bird, if he's actually an Israelite. Check out his page. But I want to get two precepts, okay, before we go too further. I want to get the rich man, that cries out. Hold on. It's this, the harvesters. Let me see. The cries of those who harvest your fields has reached the ears of the Lord. Let me see. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. All right, it's going into the rich man. All right, and the rich man we know is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Go now, ye rich men, weep and howl. This is a judgment that is specifically talking about the ruler of the earth, starting with the tribe of Amalek and the rest of the Edomites. Go now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you, because they haven't come yet. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Aren't they going into Venezuela right now to steal their oil as we speak? This is all the treasure that they've been heaping up, and the earth and the wicked stores up the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. And that goes into Yahushua taking it all away from Esau, Edom, and him vomiting it up. Mentions that in Job. Verse 3, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. For, behold, the hire of the laborers, that goes into us in slavery, who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Verse 5, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. You have been found lacking. Ye have nourished your hearts, as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Okay, now let's go into 2nd Esdras, and I'll be done. 2nd Esdras 11. 2nd Esdras, and it matches. It's more detail. 2nd Esdras 11. Look at this. Talking to the eagle. Talking to the eagle. And we know that the eagle is talking about America. If you go down, let me see. when you offer unto me, okay, your horses, okay, they have seen the prophets. Wait, hold on. Second Esdras. Dang it. 11, you bonehead. Oh, there's only one. I need another one. Bam, there we go. Salakia. Okay. But there was a man I beheld in lo, he ahead upon the right side of... Hold on. This is the hard to read version. Let me get this one. Okay, cool. Because I don't want people to see that and freak out because of the way the words are spelled. But it's a version of Old English. Okay, verse 37. And I'm going to read it down. Listen to this. This is Yahushua. And behold, lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out of a man's voice unto the eagle and said, so this is Yahushua speaking to the Roman Empire. Hear thou, O, and I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. And Yahushua is always honoring his father. So that's what we see in verse 38. Yahushua is in his God form. He is on the chariot with other hosts from heaven. He has been sent by his father. He's about to take his rulership and exact punishment on the head of the fourth beast, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, something he's been waiting to do for a long time. And in this most amazing, I want to say anxious moment, for a lack of better words, he is ready and deserves to sit on this throne, the throne of David, okay, King David. Yet even in this, he's still honoring his father, bro. Verse 38, hear thou, and I will talk with thee, talking about Yahushua, and my dad, the highest, and I will speak his words, and the highest shall say unto thee, art thou it that remaineth of the four beasts? Right there, Yahushua is making a public display of the identity of Esau Edom, where he cannot wiggle out of it. Are you not the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world? And who's the fourth beast? You would have to go to the book of Daniel to find that out. This is why we know the Apocrypha is the Bible, because it completely, in every precept, in every book of the Apocrypha, it's connected somewhere back into the scriptures. It would be the equality of you taking out a liver or a heart out of a body, and all the veins that are still in that body perfectly connect to this organ, letting you know that this was supposed to be there. It was never supposed to be removed. Art not thou in that, is that remainest of the poor beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Verse 40, and the fourth came, you came, and overcame all the beasts that were past, some of all the other rulerships, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. And that's what we see the so-called white man doing today. And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. Are they not going into Venezuela right now to try to steal their oil? Are they not arresting the migrants in the streets with fucking masked faces? Did they not have us in slavery for 300? How many times does this group of people, this race of people, get to do all this shit and you guys don't ascribe what the scriptures say to them? And so long time dealt he upon the earth with deceit. All they do is lie. 41, for the earth hast thou not judged with truth, because all they do is lie. 42, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. That's what they're doing right now. Verse 43, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. Verse 44, the highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Verse 45, and therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. Verse 46, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Photos. Look, that's what this is talking about. And whose symbol is this? This is so-called white man's. This is what they're talking about. What do you see? You see the eagle clutching the globe, telling you through this symbology that they are in rulership over the earth. That Second Ezra chapter 11 is talking about them. Obadiah is talking about them. Okay? The eagle. The phrase "the eagle clutching the globe" most commonly refers to the emblem of the United States Marine Corps. How much more evidence do you guys want? It's the so-called white man, you guys. Okay? You cannot accuse us of being racist. You cannot accuse us of being hate mongers. We have been given the ability to go into the precepts, the prophecies, and open them up and speak what the Most High says about the specific race of people in this specific time in history. Okay? You see it right here. Their own kind or possible speckled bird Israelites are speaking about them.
Republicans, Team MAGA goes, they don't say, I'm not bashing Joe Biden. I'm not bashing.
So I pray that this lesson is edifying. Check this guy's page out. He's got a couple different ones. But he's just always, I mean, he really does do a decent job, man. Let me see. He's got another page. This is not his only one. He's got another one. But check him out, you guys. He's got a lot of material that you could do lessons off of. So with all that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopeful elect taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom, guys.